Listen, I'm easy to find. And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.
What's up, y'all? It's Nathan back with another video presentation. This is episode 15 of the podcast season 6. Yes, I do apologize. This video was actually supposed to go up Sunday. I was supposed to go live Friday. Then I pushed it back Saturday. Now it's Monday. Well, it's still Monday if you're on the West Coast, and it's Tuesday if you're in the East Coast. So this episode's obviously talking about Cathy Engelbert. Couple weeks ago, Cathy Engelbert was on article on people.com. In the aftermath of, back up. Before I get into that, let me just say this up front. So, if you've not already, I went live and vented on the Washington Wizards. I'm going to change the title of this video I just did about what happened at the Grammys with Will Smith and Chris Rock. This is episode 15. I will go live again tomorrow. I painfully have to recap Maryland losing to Stanford.
Relationship with your children.
My God.
And then I'm going to go hide in the corner for a few days. No, I'm just kidding. No, all seriousness. But be tuned in for that. So you got 3 videos tonight. I do apologize for the late. But this video, she made some in this episode, Cathy Engelbert made some comments in the aftermath of the Brittany Griner situation where it's now reported she could face up to 5 years in a labor camp in Russia. She was arrested at a Russian airport for allegedly carrying hash oil in her bag. And according to their laws, she could face up to 10 years for drug smuggling. And there has been contact with her, thank goodness, and to know that she's doing okay. There was a clip of her walking towards a courtroom, looked at the camera. I think she just was the reaction was I'm ready to just get this over with and just go home. I've heard some other stuff in the aftermath of this. Like I said, there was a legal expert saying she could face up to 5 years in prison labor. Lisa Leslie was told to keep this whole thing with Brittany Griner on the hush hush, which I thought is wow. Which I thought was really crazy. But let's get into this article. So I'll leave this article, if I remember, in the description. But pretty much the interview, the article was pretty much talking about, how Cathy feels about her obviously getting arrested and what the league is trying to do and trying to get her, what they're trying to do to get her back home. So there have been numerous in the article. It stated that there's numerous members of Congress that are working with the department to figure out a solution to get Brittany Griner home. Okay, now just a little background on Cathy Engelbert. Cathy Engelbert was the president of the Wnba in 2019. Then changed her job title. The job title was changed to commissioner. So she's now technically, as of 2020, the first commissioner of the Wnba. Now, in the article, there were some things that were said that to me I felt were very Deftone-like comments. Because, and I remember in the article she said something along the lines of, it's not uncommon for WNBA players to opt to go overseas. But she dismissed it by bringing up. I have the quote. I have the quote, but before in the article was talking about that she is trying to kill this narrative that they go overseas because the WNBA doesn't pay. Now, the league, the owners, and the players and the Players Association agreed to a new collective bargaining agreement that will not expire until 2027. Now, and I quote, what we did with the collective bargaining agreement in 2020, that was only 2 years ago. People forget that. We tripled the top players. Okay? Top players pay. Players have an opportunity to make between $500,000 and $600,000 at top end salaries. Now, just for fun, because I like to be a numbers guy, and I had to look at this, and I'm sitting here going like, okay, so let's see. So the highest contract as of right now, according to this is Spot Track, and this could change, right? She said top players. So Wnba, for example, right? Her contract expires the 2023-2024 season. Her base salary is $227,000. Let's round it up to $228,000 this year, and then next year will be $200,000. The following year will be $235,000, hypothetically, right? She said we tripled the top players' play. They have an opportunity to make between $500,000 and $650,000. Now, I had to go back and also look at one of the recent top free agents, A'ja Wilson. A'ja Wilson, right, just got a contract. I'm thinking like, hey, that's not bad. I think it was like a 2-year deal. She can make up to, I think it's like $400,000, right? I think that's like the yearly cash. But her base salary for this year is supposed to be like $196,000, and the next year the following year is supposed to be like $202,000, something like that. So I'm looking, I'm saying, okay, if you're paying the highest paid top player, what about the others? What about those that are mid-tier players? And then, you have your A, B, C, D tier players, okay? What about them? Because a rookie, for example, just to give you guys an idea, right? Kalani Brown. I believe Kalani Brown's rookie contract, I think she made was like $60,000. I want to say, give or take. I just want to check that really quick. I'm not correct. I just want to make sure I'm having that right. Let's see. Her base salary, that doesn't count. Her entry-level contract started off, averaged was a 4-year deal worth $219,000. Her average salary would have been $54,000, round up to $55,000. Okay, so obviously, she's in the middle, B, C tier free agent. Okay, so obviously she would miss out on getting top dollar because according to what Cathy said in Peoples.com, we tripled the top players' pay. So if you are, example, Kalani Brown, Turner Hawkins, you're not going to get the $500,000 to $650,000. Candace Parker will get that. A'ja Wilson, Liz Cambage, Brianna Stewart, right? So what's kind of funny about her comments, because their contracts are weird, because Elena Deladon's won a championship. A'ja Wilson's been an MVP, Rookie of the Year. Candace Parker, champion, MVP. there needs to be incentives with these awards. I don't see that. Like, it's cool to see that, it's good to see that they're getting more money, but I would like to see more incentives. Hey, well, if you made a rookie team, this is how much you're going to, your salary, you're going to see a bump in salary. Breonna Jones, this past season, most improved player. You're going to see a bonus in your salary. Jean-Claude Jones, Ariel Atkins, Jasmine, and so forth and so forth. No incentives weren't mentioned in the CBA, which is just weird to me, but that's a whole other subject. But just stay with me. Okay? Now, the $500,000, right? Most of that comes from, again, in the contract doesn't even mention bonuses, but the Commissioner's Cup, the league, and then the marketing the marketing that team marketing deals for its players. Now, also too, they also started programs for players, career oriented, something like that. If I remember in the article, where this last year, a number of players they stopped going overseas. Like, I know Kelsey Mitchell is going for her master's degree. I know Alana Coates got her master's. Like, things like that, which is good. But you're also starting to see more opportunities in terms of marketing for players, which is good. Like, example, we're just having this conversation not too long ago about Jean-Claude Jones and her marketing, about being marketing. You're starting to see like a Jantel Lavender on the Big Ten network, Taylor Hill, other things like that. Now, the reason she goes that in her own words, that the pay inequity is getting better, players were still going overseas. Now, this is where she lost me. She said, and I quote, "Believe some athletes have continued to play internationally due to their passion for their sport and desire to play year-round while they still can. People are still going overseas if they want to play." Like, that right there, I have an issue with, because as a commissioner, you cannot be that deaf tone, because it shows me that you're not paying attention to the other players. When you have, example, we got some mothers in the league. Cheyenne Parker just recently became a mother. De'Erica Handy's a mom. Tiana Hawkins, DeWanna Bonner, still plays overseas. Like, if they just lived off their salary, what they're making in the WNBA, it's not enough. Like, they've got to put food on their family's table. They got bills to pay. They're sacrificing their asses off day in and day out. And then for you as the commissioner to be that deaf tone and go, it's for the passion. No. If this is money that's got to be made, it's got to be made. Like, Diana Taurasi sat out 1 year for the team she played for. I believe it was a Russian basketball team, because they paid her. It was almost like it was $1 million compared to what she was getting paid in Phoenix, which is peanuts. So as a commissioner, how can you sit there and go say it's the passion when you're not looking at, well, when I look at somebody like, again, I'm just using them as an example. When you look at the lower tier players where they're not making 100,000 plus, they got to work their asses off. Like, to the point where some of them are doing other jobs outside of basketball. Like, I'm happy that they're getting endorsements, but it's They shouldn't be going overseas. Because I'm going to tell you why. I'll never forget, I think it was 2017, 2016. I believe Brianna was in Australia. I can't remember what. She was overseas. She tore her Achilles and was out for the season. Think about what that does for the Seattle Storm. Now, that year didn't have it, and I think they missed the playoffs that year. I don't remember what time I had, but I do know her missing the season, it hurt them. But it's just, I just feel like as a commissioner, you have to be aware of, because again, same thing with Rob Mansford. Cathy Engelbert is the voice for the 12 owners. So she's the same as, not Roger Goodell, Rob Mansford, excuse me. Rob Mansford, Roger Goodell, they all speak for the owners. As a commissioner, it is your responsibility to be aware of everybody's situation is different. Not everybody can get a Nike deal. Not everybody can be getting photo shoots. Everybody can't get an Adidas endorsement. I mean, it's how you market, and also too how the team is marketing you. We talked about with Jean-Claude Jones. Well, what is the Connecticut Sun doing locally in the economy of Connecticut? What can you do on the local level to help to get your name out there? Branding, those type of things matter. As a commissioner, when you come out and go, that's passion, it's not just about passion. Like, I'll never forget, it was in the 144 documentary. It was a good scene. It was a really interesting scene because she was telling the truth. Courtney Williams, she said, she went down to Orlando to get paid because people eat off her. She is the provider for her family. Say that for the other women in the league. This is not just about passion, but let me get off that. Now, Brittany plays, I think ever since 2016, I want to say, she's been overseas. And at that time, the salaries were different. I think it was somewhere around 75, 76,000. And then the veterans, I would say, they're making over 105,000 at the time. So obviously now the average base salary for the WNBA is now 130,000.
It's ridiculous.
And Brittany Griner has made over, just that 1 year, she started in 2016, if I remember correctly, it was $1 million.
Relationship with your children.
My God.
Now, you put two and two together. If I'm making at the time $76,000 in this hand, but in this hand, I'm making $1 million. It's not brain surgery. It's not rocket science. Now, in the article, she went on to talk about Brittany, how, what Brittany represents not only for the WNBA, but for the LGBTQ community. She's one of the bigger advocates for social injustice, which she is. And I respect Brittany for that. But it's really interesting to really know that we have a commissioner that can be this deaf-toned on its players and the league, because these women don't just go overseas because it's a passion. Most of them are breadwinners. They got to take care of families. They got food to put on tables, bills to pay. They got lives to live too. Doctors don't even make that kind of salary. Like, this is a reality of the narratives of women's sports that we're trying to kill. Like the documentary Stephen Curry did on Lucia Harris. It's just the appreciation of women's sports, period. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm happy that they're getting paid more. But the W's in this is at a crossroads where it seems like you have one group that wants to progress the league, grow it. In the middle, I'm just twiddling my thumbs and don't know what to do because either I can't afford it or I'm just not going to do anything. And then you got the conservatives. Well, that's not how we do things. We're going to do it this way and just move at a snail's pace. Unfortunately, when you have business people that obviously aren't on the same page and at the end of the day, hold the WNBA back. That's just how I feel. I mean, from traveling to money to just a plethora of issues that still haven't been addressed. I mean, I already know she came out and said that when they got the investment recently, that money was not going to go into traveling, which is fine. But I just want to point this out. The National Women's Soccer League just got an endorsement with Delta Airlines.
Congratulations! Oh my God.
Where is that for the W? I don't know. I just don't think I just think as a commissioner, I don't think you can be this tone. You cannot be this tone deaf on not only this situation, but your players that represent your league. Because I ain't gonna lie, neither. You've got players, so you got a few. You got some ladies that are openly criticizing not only the CBA, but they're just criticizing what's wrong with the league. Not just them, but you've got fans like myself and others that are just openly criticizing the league. And to me, it just seems like just sitting back and going like, okay, well, we'll get to it when we get to it. That's not how it works. But I'm hoping that this year's league pass is better. Like, I hope I don't experience blackout games. I hope I don't experience that. I hope that it's actually worth it to buy. I do. Listen, I had no issue with Cathy Engelbert. I think she is very business savvy. I can see what she wants to do for the W. I understand when she took this job. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. I knew it was a shit show when she took the job. I know it was not going to be easy. But I just feel like you cannot be deaf-toned on your league when you say they go overseas because it's a passion. When you've got mothers that are and those that are not making $500,000, $650,000. They're making what 70, 60,000, 50,000, 55,000. And you expect them to live, you can't live off that. Not that, I mean, you can make it work, but no, like if there's car note, mortgage, groceries, other stuff, I go out here and hustle. And what do you think they're doing? They're going overseas. Unfortunately, I don't like it because they run the risk of getting injured, and that hurts over here because they may not be able to play. And also, too, some of them have to come back late because they missed the preseason, and then they get suspended, which
bullshit
makes no sense. Look, I'm just going to close out by saying this. Brittany Griner, I will continue. I've been praying for her safety, and I believe with how I believe in the word of God. God is in control, and I believe that she'll be home soon. I do believe that, but I also believe that Cathy Engelbert does not truly know the W and its players, because these 144 women, these 12 teams, they all have different things and different responsibilities in their lives. All of us, it would be nice to get a Nike deal, a Nike shoe investment. It'd be nice to be the face of Adidas. It would be nice to be on a commercial. But unfortunately, the WNBA has so much work and a lot of catching up to do. It's quite sad when the commissioner comes out and goes, "What's a passion?" Even though I applaud the ladies that decide to not go overseas and have those kind of things, have backup plans, and also had other things, other commitments where you've been taken care of financially, I respect that. I'm not saying going overseas is the option. I don't like it. I've been an advocate for more games for the W. AU, Athletes Unlimited, that should be considered to be expanded. There has to be an alternative to keep these women here and not go overseas. That's just it. That's just where I'm at with it. But when I read that article, I was just disappointed. I was like, wow, just very tone deaf, and you just don't know what someone like some of these players go through. Like I said, and she said it in the CBA, the top players. What about the players in the middle? What about rookies? What about them? They got bills to pay. They got families to take care of. Don't they matter too? Hell, I want Asia Wilson to have $500,000. I want Wnba Draft to have $500,000. But I would like to see Chelsea Perry. I would like to see Ruthie Herbert, Ty Harris. I already know Tay Cooper's going to get her money. I would like to see those that are mid-tier players get a little love too in terms of money. I would like to see that. I would like to see that for all the league, the rookies, this upcoming rookie class. I want to see that. But while I'm talking about the WNBA draft is April 11th. You will get the last 3.0 mock draft from me shortly. You'll probably get it this weekend because I'll be going more in depth with that because tomorrow I have to painfully recap Maryland versus Stanford, and then I'm going to go cry in my car. Damn you, Stanford Cardinals. Damn you. With that being said, y'all have a good night.
Listen, I'm easy to find. And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it. Listen, I'm easy to find. And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.